All right, so I have no choice. We have to start in the middle. Obviously. We'll start from the same line we started yesterday, ha-haskalah, and go right through. He's explaining that as we discussed in general, that everything must have a root, a mokar, and this root is what relates it to the original reality, to the godly truth. Otherwise, it is totally insignificant. I'm even going to repeat what we said yesterday, but everybody has to reflect on it. So now he says that from the haskalah itself, from the concept, will not come midis. Maybe Yisirus Abba V'yira, as for example, by Yisirus Abba V'yira, the awakening for Abba V'yira, it is only and exclusively as a result of that is that he actually comprehends and apprehends, and what he gets it, the Inyan Holiki. Boy, and he reflects in it. Then as a result of that and through that process, he will be misoyre b'hava. And this is what I'm going to discuss in a moment. But from the earlier stage, the chochmah stage, where he is only conceptualizing, only recognizing and seeing this in Holiki, he will not be aroused at all. Now, the principle in this we have to remember that we are trying to focus in on the principal element, meaning to say, not just a reaction, a human reaction, but on the reality of the Inyan itself. A human reaction, for example, a person can react and can be spoiled from something that really does not pertain to him at all. For example, he is a multi-billionaire. Wow. How is it possible? But this is not his spoilers Amavira. This is not his spoilers. It's not something that reaches him, that means anything to him. And if it does, he's just projecting, oh, if I had this, wouldn't that be nice? This kind of bishagas. This has nothing to do with the Sechel at all. Sechel and the spoilers Amavira that comes as a result of Sechel is a direct reflection of the Sechel. Not just as a secondary thing that is pertaining. Although I explained all the way in the beginning when we started talking about learning in this unit, I said, yes, indeed, there is such a thing. That's called the reflection on the apprehend. That practically speaking, it's definitely very, very possible, very conceivable, and as a matter of fact, it's very common that a person is not that alert in his heart. And he can understand perfectly well Ayin Eliki, and he doesn't touch him. Because his heart is dormant, whatever is involved in is not touched by Ayin Eliki. And therefore he has to actually focus on the Inyan from the Halaviyah. It's called apprehend. It's like, okay, therefore, since the Eibishter is doing such and such, I have to respond in kind, so to speak, or whatever the calculation is. but this is a direct focus on creating Avavira, which is definitely a correct thing to do. But that's not, we're not talking about what to do. We're talking about what is the effect of Sechel. We're not talking the avoid aspect of it. You're talking about the ha-haskalah aspect of it. What is the effect? What is the effect of Sechel? You have to understand Sechel. Although we are accustomed to think of Sechel as being something which is just a neutral, an objective thing, it has nothing to do with us personally, that's a very big misconception. We point it all the time. That Sechel is a nefesh revelation. And the basis of Sechel is that I know that there's a first being. That's an neshama. That's an neshama talking to you. That's not a goof. That's not your encounter. You never encountered this first being. That's a life element. And this is the Sechel that we're talking about. We say the Sechel brings about the Havavira because the Sechel brings that reality to the forefront. And it touches the person because the person is real. Because he is real. His heart is also alive from where? From the same source. And therefore he responds, he reflects that truth. Life, just as we say all the time, the sun, there's the sun, the light of the radius up inside the sun, we have the radius sun as it extends. It's the same element. It's different levels. But the same element, it's light. Life, as it is in the goof, is neshama, except it's on a reduced level so that the goof should be able to tolerate. But it's a neshama experience. Particularly the way we explain that life in a human being is not body living, a living body, but it's life in a body. And I want to elaborate on this a little bit more. I mean, okay, we spent so much. Even at the lowest level, see, this a human being is distinct from every other creature. Even on the lowest level, when there's life in the hand, in the foot, like we say, okay, in the brain, you say this is the neshama, but in the head and the foot, this is life of the body. Not so. In the hand there is such enormous talent, dexterity, such capability, such chushim. That is a neshama element. The Sechel is mislabish in the hand. The Sechel is mislabish in the foot. As we pointed out all the time, when a person takes a step, it's not the foot walking, his whole neshama walking. The neshama as it's mislabish in the group. Okay. Enough of that. So therefore, the ha-haskalahs or Ayin really should bring about midot. It does not bring about midot. Why? Not because it does not translate in a bechein, so to speak, in a practical demand. Because it is too spiritual, it's too neshama. Let's take the sun example. That's something which we could see. The ray of the sun, as it reaches us, we know what it is. It's a ray. It's light. The ray of the sun, as it is within the sun, is for internal consumption. It's not that we don't know. We know it. But it does not say, hey, this is light. No, this is me. This is the sun. You follow what I'm saying? Like we said, The neshama has to be mispashit, has to reach the heart. Like I said, if I know that you're a multi-billionaire, it doesn't really touch me. I can create all kinds of imagery. It doesn't really touch me. It has to be something that within the source itself there is an implication, there is a significance to it. Like we said yesterday, what's the Inyan Ho'eliki? What's the Inyan Ho'eliki? Inyan Ho'eliki is, as we pointed out, the Rebbe created the world. Creating the world is a miracle beyond our comprehension, our imagination. So therefore we know the Rebbe is great. So therefore what? How does it reach us? How does that reach us? Not how I'm going to project myself into it. How does it reach me? In other words, where is the Rebbe telling me that, hey, I'm here? You know what I'm saying? There's nothing there. In creating the world and giving us this inyan, that the world is really a reality beyond the natural structure. The reason I can walk on the earth is not because the earth is solid and it supports me. I'm not concerned that the earth should dissipate, but because it was made for me to walk on it. What's the point? Again, not because of its solidity, as I said, because this is the inyan of the invited guest, because there is a true expression of that grace that brings about, and that has to do with midot. There is a certain thought as I was thinking about the whole, that I didn't meet you here. The truth is, we say we have the chair and the floor and the beam and the whole structure. Why do we have all that structure? Please follow this. Why do we have all that structure? Is that structure just to support me so that I don't fall? No. That structure is so that I can be on the earth.
What structure? Sorry.
The chair, the floor, the beam. Like we said, this is all logical within worldly context. What is that about? To give me security? No. It is to make it possible for me to be on the earth, because the earth is the place where I need to be.
Civilized, right?
I'm sorry?
You call it civilized. You call it civilized, like aroused. Right? You always call, like, there are roads in a...
I hear what you're saying. Well, we shouldn't mix.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Just follow through on this. It's coming from a different angle. Why do I want to be on the earth? Because that's what the Rebbe created. This is what the Rebbe is. This Rebbe manifests himself. This is Rebbe's presence. This is what the Rebbe created, and the pasuk says like this. Listen to this. I made the earth, and Odom I made upon it. What is Odom Oleho Barosi and Odom Aleho? I made Oris and I made Odom. Two great accomplishments. Right?
2 for 2.
What's meant Odom Oleho? Everybody knows the translation of these words. Odom Oleho Barosi. I made the Oris and Odom Oleho Barosi. I gave Odom a reality where he can develop as a human being and fulfill the mission. The Rebbe says, Maros is begimater taryag. I gave him taryag mitzvahs, and therefore he's got the full reality, my full reality. Where? Oleho, on the earth. Because the earth is suspended on what? The earth is not suspended. The earth is not, cannot be defined as something holding you up. That's where you are. That's what the reality is. It's not holding you up.
I understand this distinction you're making between like the Avish's presence and the Avish's power. Taylor Eretz al Blima is a we're professing the Avish's presence, not his power. But why it seems like why are we saying that this the Eretz Aviyira has to come from there? I mean, look at it. We talk all the time about the Avish's power. We talk about Eis Nifleis Gedeles and Makom Malach Gedelim.
Answer. Eis Nifleis Gedeles and all that I explained yesterday. That's exactly what I'm pointing out. Eretz Aviyira is a real thing. It's not. I'm responding to the fact that you're a billionaire. Oh, I'll be very, very cautious. He's so powerful. That's not the point. He made me a real person. Yisrael Havayir is a sense of reality. I am for real. Not I for my own sake. He is giving me the reality by giving me the Sechel and goes into midot. A person who has Havayir is a full-fledged human being. It's not that he has appreciation of neighbors. He really lives. Avraham Avinu was a great masker. The Gemara says he was a choker, he was a philosopher. He was digging and digging, trying. With his Sechel, the Rambam describes. With his fine Sechel, he is that what we remember Avraham? Oh, Avraham Oyhavi. That's the real Avraham. Pachad Yitzchok. That's the real Yitzchok. We're all great scholars. That's not the point. Where do they manifest that this is a real thing, this is a neshama thing? That is when it comes into the midot. It permeates the whole mitzvahs of the world.
What about the thing we always talk about? So Avram said, "Yachol birazuke ve'kein manik." Like he saw like the wonder of the world, and he said, "Well, it can't be that it doesn't have a manik." It seems like he was
I'll
relating
explain
to
many times that what was Avram's point. You wanted to know the bira? No, you wanted to see the manhig. Where is the manhig? I want to get to know him. That's what Avram was after. And as a matter of fact, what did he get as a result? The Mother says, so the Seder Baal Habir, the Baal Habira came to him and begged him, yeah, I'm the Baal Habira. What happened since then? Avram cared about the bira? No, he cared about the manik. He let himself go and being thrown in the fire. He doesn't care about the bira. This is the big thing when you say Abraham. I mean, philosopher, Ayin, he has one focus. That's what the Yiddishkeit is. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Not Hashem made a tremendous world. And this would say there's any flaws and all that I explained yesterday. Like by Yetzias Mitzrayim, the point is that this was an expression of Mimash's closest to us, to the world. Why does he do niflois?
Show that we're different.
Hmm?
Show that we're different.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not lauding the Avish's praises in a vacuum. It's all in the context of how we personally relate to him, that he did such and such for us.
Right. And I always react to this personal relate. It's not we are creating that relation because we are so smart. This niflois lifts us to a different plateau. Instead of being in a world, we're in a godly realm. That's a niflois. Not I'm in the world. Oh, what a wonder. So then, again, it's through encounter. That is not what Yiddishkeit is about. This is high madrigas, but we have to understand the Ayin the way it is in truth.
So you're saying that he makes niflois in order for us to realize that he is this Inyan
With
Eloki.
us, that we should not realize, we should actually experience His presence.
So it will help us out.
Oh, yeah, they help us out. I said not in order to substantiate to our emunah, to give us the ability to actually relate to Him. He is omnipresent. So we can stand Shemon Esrei and say and daven, and we don't feel like fools. What are you talking? All right. I was too excited that we want to pass through this thing, but it's fine. Baruch Hashem, we are definitely passing through. You think crossing the Yam Suf was in one moment thing?
But I think that the whole thing we just spoke about, you started to why it is that the Yisrael Sabiyah comes back from ha-haskalah, not from the ha-haskalah.
There is 2 points I wanted to make. What's so great about Yisrael Sabiyah? All of a sudden, we're talking about ha-haskalah. We're talking about profound concepts. What's so important about Ayin? And yes, why Dapki ha-haskalah? Yes, so go ahead.
So I think the first part about the importance of Av a year we've established, but I just forgot already. But what was the point that you made about specifically it comes from ha-haskalah?
Oh, okay. Ha-haskalah. The reason it is in ha-haskalah because only in ha-haskalah there is that content, that element. In ha-haskalah, that not because it didn't touch. In ha-haskalah, that element, so to speak, doesn't exist. It does exist because the chochmah is a mokir ha'orochik. Everything that's in bina is present in chochmah. But the principle of chochmah is to show you that there is a sun. The principle of bina is to show what light is. So that's why for chochmah it's as if there is no such thing as Abba here in chochmah. Because in fact, what is the statement of chochmah? There is only the Rebishter. So that's ain't no about it. There's no history. Bina contains the element of Abba Yir. The truth of every Sechel is the actual eliki, the reality itself, the yira that it's contained within the seichel. Again, seichel is not a projection. Seichel is an actual is the realization and the understanding of the reality itself. Again, how come we have seichel? We have to always come back to this. Our seichel is not as a result of experiment and encounter. This is not seichel. This is instinct. We're reacting to a certain encounter. Seichel is a neshama revelation. Just as we know that there's a first being, there's no encounter with the first being. There's an inherent knowledge, so to speak. Knowledge is already on a lower level, but essentially there's an inherent reality in the neshama that there's a first being. This is what makes the neshama capable of living. one more word, and time is up. I once explained that in the sunlight we have it said, very different effects and very different levels. Then there is the element which is called day. Day is not light in the common sense of the word. The effect of day is not. One cannot say, "Oh, it's day. I can see across the street." A focused light, like a flashlight, oh, I can see across the street. That's all its effect is. That I can see the object that it shines upon. It deflects and so forth. Day is a complete transformation. Day is the elimination. Day. Visibility is the reality of the world. That's what day is. Not like we see that the reality of the world is darkness. No, visibility. Day is the reality. The visibility is the reality. But that's what they brought to the world an element of light, of visibility. That's the reality. Disconnected? No. This element, that visibility is the reality of the world. Where is that? What affects it? How come there is such an element? We say, how come we say in this dark world, visibility is the reality? How can the visibility be the reality of the world? It is, on the contrary, the reality of the world is dark. The answer is not so simple phenomenon. It's not that it is not the light that reaches the earth that says that the reality of the world is visibility, because that light has to fight against darkness. It is the presence of the sun itself.
That's just the presence on our level.
Presence of our level, but it's a presence of the sun itself.
It's like the Bina element.
Oh. Then within that there is a chochmah and there's a bina. The chochmah is the sun itself. The bina is the oyer shebetoich hashemesh. My point over here is to point out that this Ayin of the chochmah is actually representative of the truth itself, not a functional element. The reason that they became conceptual, the seeing visibility is the reality of the world is not because the light of the sun is here, but because the sun is here. This is the pshat in the pasuk. As Hashemesh, the Shemesh rules the day. The Shemesh rules, the light of the Shemesh rules the day. It's the Shemesh. Because the Shemesh, the light of the Shemesh is Etzem Behiri, and then that rules the day, it changes the whole Mitzvah of the world. Okay, I apologize for mistake. Okay, this is it for now. We'll meet tonight again.
Right.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
What's not there?
yeah.